support transformation of education. And education is being transformed. And I believe, Mr. President, Ghanaians will remember you fondly for the work that you have done. Mr. President, Mr. President, I recently turned 60, so I can't claim to be young again. But as the young people will say, Mr. President, you do all. Today, I want to introduce to you the man who needs no introduction, Mr. President of the Republic, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo.
Thank you very much. The Archbishop Emeritus of the Anglican Church has dubbed me the latest octogenarian. Clergy, Minister for Education and Member of Parliament for Bosomtwe, the Minister for Youth and Sports and Member of Parliament for Yagaba Kubore, Head of the Civil Service, the Vice Chairperson of the Public Service Commission, Vice Chancellor of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Chairperson and members of the Board of the National Service Scheme, the Executive Director, Deputy Executive Directors, Management and Staff of the National Service Scheme, the Director General of NADMO, members of the Diplomatic Corps, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I join you today for the launch of the National Service Policy 2024 document, which sets out the broad framework for transforming the National Service Scheme from just merely mobilizing and deploying young graduates into various sectors of the Ghanaian economy without more, into becoming a world-class institution which saves and shapes service personnel for success in the professional world. It is a document that should be cherished by the state, international partners and friends of Ghana, the Diplomatic Corps, user agencies, universities, and other institutions. And its operationalization must be well effected. I want to assure you the government is fully committed to providing the enabling environment, resources, and logistical support to ensure the successful implementation of this policy. The National Service Scheme has operated for years without any formal policy guidelines. This policy document represents a paradigm shift, providing direction for the scheme's delivery and aligning it with government agenda to ensure that service personnel are adequately prepared for the transition from school into the workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, the role of the state is to provide direction and opportunities for the development of the full potential of its citizens. Over the last 7 years, I have endeavored to build the human capital of our country through initiatives such as the Free SHS and Free TVET programs and various other interventions. The Free SHS program has increased significantly the number of institutional graduates, with some 150,000 young Ghanaians graduating from tertiary institutions annually. As this number continues to rise, it is imperative that the National Service Scheme, as the institution responsible for transforming this critical mass, is strengthened. The policy being launched today will enhance capacities, reinforce structures, and enable the National Service Scheme to mobilize effectively and deploy increasing numbers of graduates to areas of national priority. The future of our country hinges self-evidently, largely on our youth. The youth of Ghana, like those in many African countries and around the world, constitute a significant portion of our population. The 2021 National Population and Housing Census, conducted by the Ghana Statistical Service, indicates that the youth, that is 15 to 35 years old, make up some 38.2% of Ghana's total population, with tertiary graduates comprising a substantial component of this demographic. My government recognizes the immense potential, creativity, and innovation of Ghanaian youth, and we are committed to providing them with opportunities to realize their dreams through initiatives such as the Youth in Agriculture, the Youth Start Program, the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, and support for enterprises of young entrepreneurs by the Ghana Enterprises Agency. The launch of the National Service Scheme today marks a significant step in youth development in Ghana. The policy will operate in a manner that provides training, mentoring, and coaching for prospective and transitioning national service personnel, bridging the gap between theory learned in school and the practical demands of the workforce. The state will provide the National Service Scheme with relevant backing to complement other pro-youth institutions and interventions to give all-round and integrated development of the young graduates that pass through the scheme. Strong partnerships and collaborations are essential for institutions to fulfill these measures and mandates. I'm pleased to note that the formulation of this policy involved the engagement of key stakeholders from various sectors, including ministries, departments, and agencies, international partners, members of the diplomatic corps, traditional authorities, policy think tanks, academia, and civil society organizations. This broad consultation will ensure that the policy reflects realities, enhances the image of Ghana internationally, and stands the test of time. I urge all stakeholders to maintain the spirit of collaboration during the implementation phase. Government is committed to allocating sufficient annual budgetary resources for the successful implementation of this policy. I encourage the board and management of the National Service Scheme to leverage strong partnerships with domestic and international stakeholders to ensure the policy's success. It is disheartening to hear reports that service personnel are often underutilized, with many relegated to peripheral tasks, or left idle in offices and institutions. Government investment in the National Service Scheme is significant, and we expect a return on that investment. Therefore, measures will be put in place to regulate deployment processes and reinforce learning opportunities during national service. Ladies and gentlemen, I reaffirm the commitment I made at the launch of the 50th anniversary of the National Service Scheme to elevate the National Service Scheme to authority status. Very soon. This will empower the scheme to realize its mandate and help shape our country's critical mass for the future. In conclusion, I want to commend the Minister for Education, the Governing Board, and management of the National Service Scheme, especially the Executive Director, my very good friend and colleague, Osei Esibe Entry, for their dedicated leadership. I urge them to implement the following initiatives outlined in the National Service Policy with increased vigor. 1, introduce pedagogy training in collaboration with Transforming Teaching, Education and Learning and the National Teaching Council to complement efforts to reduce the pupil-teacher ratio. Implement an MSME accounting and program to help formalize the informal sector. Form specialized partnerships to promote tourism in Ghana through the NSS MOTAC support program. 4, expand experimental agricultural programs for national service personnel under the Secretary Kumau Economic Enclave, with support from the Ministry of Finance under the Ghana Cares Obatampa Program and Agri-Impact Ghana. 5, implement a metric application system to improve efficiency and eliminate waste and redundancies. And 6, establish ICT hubs for training service personnel in IT solutions as trainers for communities in Ghana. These interventions will solidify the National Service Scheme's position as one of the best in the West African and African region for deploying service personnel. I urge all stakeholders to support the scheme in achieving its objectives. Let us embrace the new changes, focus, and face of the National Service Scheme. I'm confident that with the implementation of this new policy document, the National Service Scheme will play an even more vital role in shaping the future of our nation and empowering our youth to fulfill their potential. Accordingly, ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor and pleasure to declare the 10-year National Service Policy document duly launched.